All right.
Welcome, welcome, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am just waiting for the camera to load on my end. It looks like we got a couple people here already. Fabulous. Paul's here. I hope everybody's having a lovely day in this fabulous stormy weather we've been having. Oh, there we go. All right. I can see it now. I know where we're at. Dun, 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 dun. Give people a few minutes to jump on. I hear we have about 12 people in the TikTok. Fabulous.
Got a little more than that
Um,
now.
oh boy. I'm sure we'll have all kinds of people in the TikTok department. I know I often randomly wind up in people's lives and I'm like, how did I get here? I don't know. But I'm going to have a good time while we're here. Excellent.
If you guys can hear us okay, just drop a heart, drop a emoji, just
Yes.
whatever, something. Let us know.
Mm-hmm. And if you're a new cruiser, definitely drop us a heart. Or if you are still trying to decide if you are going to go on the cruise, which after this, we definitely hope you are. But we'll go ahead and get started. Again, welcome everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. My name is Rolenta. I am one of your cruise directors and the social media manager for the Colossalcon Cruise. In the background, the voice from above that you'll be hearing this evening is Ashley. She is our con chair and another cruise director for the Colossalcon group. And then we have a couple other staffers hiding out in the comment section. So we have Paul, Stephen and Chi, and then Ridley, who are your staff members for the Colossalcon Cruise. We are a fully volunteer-based crew. So for those of you who are new to the Colossalcon Cruise, we've been running Colossalcon Cruise for the last year, but Colossalcon Cruise has been around since 2019. And so me, myself, Ashley, and all of your crew are big fans of the Colossalcon Cruise. And when things kind of slowed down after COVID, we decided to pick it back up and restart it. And last year was our first year being fully in control, and it went swimmingly. The boat did not sink, but we still had a great time. But we are a completely volunteer crew. And so we thank you very much for those of you who joined us last year and trusted us with this endeavor. And thank you so much to those of you who are trusting us with this endeavor this year. We are super excited to be back and cannot wait to put on an even better show than we did last year. So we have a slideshow prepared for y'all this evening. If you have been to some of the Colossal Cons throughout the country, you may have seen the slideshow before. But if you have not, this is going to kind of explain what the Colossal Con Cruise is and what we do and some of the fun and some of the background of cruising. So if you have never been on a cruise before, this should answer quite a few questions for you. If you are a seasoned cruiser, whether it is with us or with just Royal Caribbean or Carnival or even Disney, you should probably know plenty about cruising. So this slideshow will tell you what is different on a Colossal Con cruise. As we go through, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we will answer them as best we can based on the slide that we're on. But if your question doesn't pertain to our current section, we will push it back towards the end and we will answer those questions at the end. So do not panic. We've got a full hour tonight and we'll be able to answer all of your questions. No worries. So at the end of the day, what we like to say is, what is Colossal Con Cruise? So the Colossal Con Cruise is a celebration vacation. And it combines the excitement and the camaraderie of an anime convention with a high seas ocean voyage adventure. So our mission is to create a unique convention experience that embodies the love of anime, cosplay, and gaming while embarking on a vacation experience like no other aboard a floating hotel. So sail away with us as we embark on our grand adventure and experience the ultimate anime beach episode. So we're going to go ahead and get our slideshow up and running. I am going to open it in a separate page since for some reason I can't see what we're posting right now. Again, what is Colossalcon Cruise? So Colossalcon Cruise is the official cruise hosted by the Colossalcon family. Again, the cruise has been running since 2019 and is currently planned out all the way through 2026. We typically aim to run the cruise from January to March, and we usually leave from Florida. It's not all it's a great relaxing time, and it is a con that is open to all ages, which is awesome. So on to our next slide. Right now, the cruise for 2026 is currently slated for February 12th through February 16th. So it's a Thursday through a Monday. So you've got some weekend availability. That is one of the big things that when we do surveys at the end of the year, that people are always pushing for is they love it to be on the weekends. So we try to accommodate those weekend cruisers so that you don't have to take as much PTO from work, which is always great. And this year we'll be departing from Port Canaveral on the Voyager of the Seas, which is one of the smaller
Not
size boats.
Voyager, Explorer.
Whoop, just kidding. I lied. Explorer of the
Wait,
Seas. Just kidding.
yeah.
Excellent. All right. So where are we going? So we're going to be going to Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island. We're going to be going to Nassau in the Bahamas. And then we're also going to have a day at sea where the boat is just kind of be floating with the motion of the ocean, which is always fun. We always do a lot of fun activities planned on that day at sea. So next slide. We're going to jump through a few of these pretty quick because they are really just kind of about those ports. So Port Canaveral is, of course, in Florida. Closest airport to that is MCO, or the Orlando airport. A lot of our cruisers actually like to come in a day early, or they leave a day late and go hit up Disney or go hit up Universal. It's always a great time. Um, but so Coco Cay is Royal Caribbean's private island. There's a ton of different excursions that you can do on Coco Cay, from swimming with stingrays and snorkeling. You can go feed the pigs on the beach. It's a really cool experience. There's a giant theme park that they have just built. It's the perfect day at Coco Cay, so it's a giant water park. But then there's also tons of free activities on Coco Cay as well. And it is also where we host one of our biggest events. So on to our next slide, which is again a little bit more about Coco Cay. So there's also shopping. There is the straw market, which is a lot of fun. That outdoor water park we mentioned. You can rent cabanas, you can rent beach chairs. There's a ton of bars. Our personal favorite is the floating bar. If you've been watching us on social media, that is our gazebo, if you will. So that's our favorite place to be after all of our events are over.
It is not
And then
just a
we can,
swim up bar, it is a swim to bar, meaning
that is
that
correct.
you have to physically swim out to this bar and jump up onto it.
And it's pretty awesome. And so one year we actually had Aquaman ferry people back and forth to the swimming bar on the back of a giant orca. So needless to say, we were super popular with the locals that day, and there were lots of pictures taken. But we're going to be hosting some of our super fun events like Mermaids and Mimosas, which is our mimosa and mermaid dress up party. And then new this year, our Pirate Floaty Regatta, which we will get to a little bit later in our slides. So on to our next slide. Nassau is the capital of the Bahamas. There's tons of beaches. There's offshore coral reefs for snorkeling. It's got a neighboring island, which is Paradise Island. There's a bunch of resorts out there. This is the island that we'll be having some of our staff-led excursions on. So kind of fun there. We've got a couple of options that we are exploring currently at the moment, with some more details to come. All right. And then, of course, we'll be headed back to Port Canaveral after we go to Nassau. And it'll be a grand old time after that day at sea. So on to the boat itself. So there are a couple of different factors that go into us deciding the size of the boat. I'm sure plenty of you have seen some of the other cruises that take place on some of the larger boats, and they take the whole boat over. It's a little crazy. But so we have a smaller boat that we are hopefully eventually going to be taking over. But again, we'll be sailing on the Explorer of the Seas. It's a beautiful boat. We've been on it before. There's lots of really cool stuff. It's big enough that there's plenty of activities, but it's small enough that with our smaller group, you guys are going to be able to run into each other literally at any given moment. And again, back when we do our surveys at the end of the year, everybody commented that they really loved that you could turn a corner anywhere on the boat and you could run into another cruiser with our group, so another seaweed. And we're all very easily identifiable by the lanyard that you get, which is your badge, which we will go over in a little bit. So on to our next slide. So on the boat with your booking through Colossalcon Cruise, you're going to have things included when you're on the boat. So pretty much the boat is all inclusive for food, your basic drinks, your internet access, access to all boat events, and access to the Colossalcon Cruise events. So when you book through us, you're going to get all of those things included. There are things like specialty restaurants and drink packages that you're able to add on to that as well. And we'll go over that in a little bit for some more slides. But so what is there to do on the boat on our next slide? So we've got, of course, the boat hosted events. One of our favorite events to go attend is the Sexiest Man Alive contest and the Belly Flop contest, always a popular one with our seaweaves.
But also,
But
they
then,
have things like silent raves. They have things like
yes,
Disney trivia, karaoke,
they
as
do
well.
singles night. They do everything you could possibly imagine. They will literally do on the boat. So there is so much fun to do both day and night. So it's pretty much, I won't say 24/7, but definitely from the moment you wake up to the moment those mimosas catch up with you, you will have some activity to do. There's also things like a casino. There's a gym. One of our staff members hosts some workouts while you're on board, so lots of fun. Everybody loves the muscle meetups. There's pools. There's hot tubs where we have the weeb soup, and then you've got fun stuff like water slides and the wave rider. There's a rock climbing wall. There's laser tag. You can go to the spa and have a spa day. Again, if you can dream it, you can pretty much do it while you're on this boat. It is basically built to be a floating city. So, on that note, even people that are not into anime love cruising with us. So every year we get a couple more parents, a couple more brothers and sisters, we get a couple more besties that really have no idea, like, they know that their best friends into anime, they know that their kids into anime, but they're like, yeah, I want to go on a cruise. And so there's so much fun stuff, not only for the anime lover in your life, but there is also a ton of fun stuff for literally everyone. So whether you want to bring your kids, you want to bring your parents, your best friend, your brother, your sister, it doesn't matter. There's going to be something fun for them to do on this boat.
Just to add on to that before you continue,
Mhm.
I myself am one of those. I am bringing a 62-year-old woman as well as a 9-year-old anime weep. So really, it is the spectrum. It is some place that is not only family friendly for your little ones, because there is a ton of stuff to do for some of the younger ones: splash pads, kid clubs, arcades, stuff like that. But if you're one of those that don't feel comfortable traveling by yourself, it is more than welcoming atmosphere to have somebody who is a little bit older, like a parent or an aunt or something like that, come with you. In fact, we had a who we lovingly named Pops this year. He was a man who was came out, he was a dad that came on with some of his older sons, and he had no clue what was going on. He was just so happy to be there. By the end of it, we had him drunk as a skunk, wearing a headband and living his best life. And he said it was just the best welcoming atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And that again is a big part of what the Colossal Con Cruise is. We are a smaller group, we are very inclusive, and we want everyone to have a great time when they're on the boat. And so that's just one of the reasons why we feel like this is one of the best family friendly events that you can come to for sure. All right. So then we've got, again, just more stuff to do on the boat. Our boat in particular has dance clubs. They've got an arcade, there's mini golf, there's an ice skating rink. One of our boats had like the first ice skating rinks on a cruise ship. That's pretty cool. um, so, again, if you can dream it, you can do it pretty much. There's live entertainment every night. There's bad karaoke out on the Lido deck. Like, again, you name it, they can do it. Okay, so again, on to a little bit more just about what's included in terms of food. There's a nightly formal dining, so you can go get dressed up. You can go have formal dinner night. A lot of people hear the silliness of cruises where people get all dolled up to go have dinner on the cruise ship and dinner with the captain. All of those things are actually real and super fun options. And then they've got buffets. They have late night places to go eat. They've got 24-hour places to go eat. There's free ice cream by the poolside pretty much every day. There's room service. When we go to Coco Cay, there's going to be food that's included as well. So again, it's a ton of food. You will be eating from morning till night, which is always encouraged because, of course, if you come along to the bar crawl, we will be encouraging the food eating 110%.
And
uh,
just as a note
mhm.
for the dining, actually, Royal Caribbean has anecdotally some of the best food of any of the cruise lines that it's always highly recommended by people who cruise frequently, as well as the type of food that you'll get at the formal dining is not just, burger, fries, chicken fingers. It is, you're getting all these different types of dishes. You're getting Jamaican dishes, you're getting Indian dishes, you're getting all kinds of stuff that you might not normally want to try, but fuck it, it's free. So
Yep,
you try
there
it
are
anyways,
some
and then you find out that you love escargot, and then now you have a problem.
bingo.
And then same thing with their regular buffet. The regular buffet, of course, has like fan favorites of like those who have some food issues, food sensitivities. There's a lot of like really good classics. That's where you can get your burgers and fries, but you'll also still get like your Indian dishes, your Chinese food dishes, stuff like that, and they rotate that through as well. So even if you don't want to sit down and get dressed up pretty, there's still more adventurous food for you to try.
Absolutely. Usually, every night at formal dining is a different country and a different theme. So, like Ashley mentioned, escargot is usually always on the menu for French night. And it's usually somebody at your table will get daring and go to try it. And it's always really fun
And
because, exactly, you may find a dish that you fall in love with that you never knew you would actually enjoy. So, it's always really cool to see what's going to be on the menu next time.
one more shout out is that with cruise lines, especially if you have any dietary restrictions, they can accommodate so many dietary restrictions. Especially like, did you ever want? Are you gluten free and want like a whole entire table of desserts that are just gluten free?
They got
That can
you.
happen. We got you. Cruise ships, they can accommodate so much. They even have kosher, halal, stuff like that. Which, like,
Mhm.
granted, some of the stuff you do need to communicate ahead of time, but we have a ridiculously awesome cruise planner that can assist you with any of those kind of very specialty things. We actually had one cruiser last time who had a huge dairy allergy, and she was still able to go sit down, have a normal meal at the formal dining nights, and they brought her out a completely dairy free version of her meal because she communicated ahead of time. So if you have you have some really big allergies, you don't have to be afraid about, oh well, can I even eat there?
100%. And again, Don, our cruise coordinator, it's one of the reasons why we book with him every year. He will make sure that every need that you have can be attended to. So, absolutely have no fear. Whatever dietary restrictions you might have, like he's going to be able to get you taken care of 100%. All right. So, on to our drink packages. So, Royal Caribbean offers either pay as you go or the drink package. So, most of our cruisers wind up going with the deluxe drink package, which pretty much includes everything. So, from specialty drinks, whether that be specialty Starbucks coffees or uh,
Cocktails.
fancy juices and mocktails, but then of course it will also include things like your all of your drinking throughout the entire cruise. You still have the option to purchase some of their more expensive bottles, but pretty much if you are buying by the glass, or if you have the deluxe drink package, you are able to purchase quote unquote anything by the glass, which will be included in your drink package. So it's typically going to run anywhere from about $80 to $100 a day after taxes, and that'll include not only all your fees, but it will also include your gratuities. And that's something that we like to point out, and we'll go over that again in just a few minutes when we go over some of the room pricing. But that'll include all of your gratuities. Those gratuities are included in those numbers that you are seeing. But typically, once a month, Royal Caribbean runs some kind of special on their drink packages. Not only their drink packages, but also their food packages and their excursions. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet, go ahead and download the Royal Caribbean app and sign up for those push notifications. And anytime they're running like a 30% off your drink package or a 35% off your drink package, you can get that alert, and then you can go ahead and go sign up for it. A lot of our cruisers just hang out till Black Friday. I'm not 100% sure if that's the best discount they run or if it's about the same pretty much all year round. I feel like I normally see around a 35% discount. Um, so once that drink package goes on sale, it's usually a great time to buy it. And then if you have a cruiser or if you yourself are not a drinker, typically when you go to purchase that drink package on the website, it will tell you that you have to buy the drink package for everyone in your room. And that is not correct. You simply have to call Royal Caribbean and tell them, I have someone in my room that does not drink. I would like to purchase one drink package. And that does sometimes happen when you have maybe a cruiser that is under the age of 21, or if you just have somebody in your
Somebody staying
cabin that is
sober.
not, yep, and is sober. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, Royal Caribbean will 100% accommodate. You just have to pick up the phone and give them a call, and they will be able to make those accommodations for you. And it does not change the pricing for your single cruiser, or however many other people you have in your room for that drink package.
And typically, like package that they do require you to buy if you are trying to get somebody like one with a drink package, one without, is they just have you buy the refreshment package, which is about $10 to $20 per day. So it's a much cheaper cost, and it still allows you to have pop and I believe a couple other things like that. Sorry, I'm
I
from the
believe the
Midwest. I call
mocktails
pop.
are included with that, with the smaller drink package, um, which is always a lot of fun. And when we do our bar crawl, we always have a bar crawl option, and then we also have a sober pirate bar crawl option, which is a lot of fun. Um, all right. So, boop. What is included with your badge? So, when you sign up or when you book your cruise, it is absolutely imperative that you book your cruise through www.colossalconcruise.com. It is absolutely non negotiable. If you do not book through our cruise director, Don, you will not receive your lanyard, your badge. You will not receive access to any of the Colossal Con Cruise events. So if so by booking through Dawn, this secures our cruise coordinator to be our liaison to Royal Caribbean. It grants us access to special deals and private events and venues. A lot of times, the pushback we get is that the pricing on the Royal Caribbean website looks quote unquote cheaper. And that is because the pricing that you see on the Royal Caribbean website does not include your taxes, your port fees, your resort fees, your internet package, and it does not include the price of your badge, which, when you attend a convention, you in fact do buy a badge. So that is why the pricing looks different. If you book through Royal Caribbean, you will not be given a badge, and you will not be allowed to attend the Colossal Con Cruise events. This has happened to cruisers in the past, and it was a real bummer for them. And unfortunately, they were removed from those events, and they had to be spectators for most of it. And it was really disappointing for them. So we beg you to tell your friends to, if you hear of another con goer that is maybe considering booking directly through Royal Caribbean, do them a favor, do yourselves a favor, and don't. Because again, by booking through Dawn, our cruise director, our cruise coordinator, it enables us to make sure that safety precautions are in place for y'all. And to make sure that should something go wrong while we're on the cruise, we have a dedicated professional who does this for a living that is able to make sure that we are able to get back on track and make sure that everyone is taken care of.
Should
So
I let them know the Don story?
so we do have a story in which we had two cruisers last year that unfortunately, due to a glitch in the Royal Caribbean website, their cruise was booked for the wrong day. So they showed up at the port with us, and they were told, "This is not your cruise. Your cruise is next month."
They told them and they
Um,
told about 20 other couples. So, and they
Correct.
weren't even, the other 20 couples were not with our
With
group.
our group.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
were, but they were on this supposed to be on the same boat.
Yeah. And so through Dawn, we were able to get them cash in hand. We were able to coordinate a hotel for them, and we were able to get them all of their money back for the cruise. So,
As well as Disney tickets, Universal
yes,
tickets, and a free cabin on this year's cruise. And the reason
correct.
why we're bringing this up is because if they had just booked through Royal Caribbean, they did buy the insurance, and Royal Caribbean would have made them whole by giving them the price of their cruise back. But because we use our cruise planner and because we have a contract with him to book exclusively through him, he not only understood that this put them in a horrible spot, he actually felt so sorry for them that he was in tears. He tried to give them their own room, his own room on the boat, but Port Authority would not allow that to happen. So he in tears told them, "Here's money to at least make it okay for right now, even though I know it doesn't make you whole because you are losing out on a great experience." And he didn't have to do any of that. He didn't have to put any money out of his company's pocket, but he did because that
He knew
is
it was
what
the
you are
right thing to do.
purchasing. He knew it's the
Yeah.
right thing to do, and that
Hmm.
is what you're purchasing when we go through our cruise planner. And he does that at the same price that if we had booked through Royal Caribbean. And
Correct.
I know that for a fact because I've looked at what the difference in prices is on cabin because, again, I'm bringing an old lady and a young kid. Why would they want to go to Colossalcon Cruise? I sat there, did all the pricing, and I said, well, it's actually the same exact price once you factor in the internet, once you factor in the not so optional gratuities, once you factor in the fact that if we had sold the badge separate. So literally the only difference was our badge fee.
Yeah. So that is why we adamantly insist you must book through our cruise direct or our cruise coordinator. And again, it includes the price of your badge, which is what pays for all of these super fun activities and all of the giveaways and the prizes and all the really cool stuff that we are going to have aboard. So again, we beg, we plead, as in the words of Sabrina Carpenter, please, please, please book through colossalconcruise.com. All right. Moving on.
Uh,
Your price of your badge. Yep, there we go. It's going to include your super fabulous lanyard. Again, everyone on the cruise ship wears lanyards because this little doodad right here, it will hold your room pass, which is also your key card, which is also your booze ticket, which is also like you will never go anywhere without this lanyard. So you put it on, you do not take it off. It's got the gorgeous Bonnie Voyage on it. Why would you want to take it off? Um, so yeah, oh, and Bonnie Voyage, by the way, is our mascot. She's gorgeous. We love her. Fabulous. You'll learn more all about her later. Um,
Especially when we get the lore page up.
yeah, gonna have some lore. It'll include some swag. So, of course, if you booked before June 16th, we have a super awesome surprise swag item that you guys will be receiving. And then, of course, there's tons of swag that we give out on the boat. Ask anybody who was with us last year. There was somebody who actually complained and said we gave too much stuff away. We won't worry about them. But we thought the prizes were fun. Again, there's going to be staff run encounters on the island. Usually we will coordinate something a little bit closer to date of cruise to make sure that whatever encounter that we decide to do is going to be open and readily available. So we'll have more information about that closer to our cruise date. We refer to that as our free excursion because typically the excursion itself does not cost any money apart from if you wanted to buy something while you are there. So for example, our last free excursion, we walked on the island of Bimini. We walked from
Fisher
the port all the way out to, I swear to God, if somebody
Fisherman's
says Bimini,
Village.
I'm going to kill them,
Fisherman's
to the
Village.
village. where there was food and shopping and all that fun stuff. So we basically went as the group. So again, for our cruisers that were maybe alone, they did not have to be afraid to go off of that boat by themselves. And so we've got a couple of really great options that we're looking at for the island of Nassau. We've found some fun options that some of our cruisers have been to before, to include a distillery featured in one of the James Bond movies, as well as a cigar shop. So a couple of different options that we are just playing with, and more to come on that. We'll also have some bigger prizes for our contests and events that are on board, and your badge is going to also include your Wi-Fi. We included the Wi-Fi in your badge pricing to ensure that when we had to make updates or make changes to the schedule, or if you guys needed to contact us for any reason, whether you have found a poor lost drunken seaweed on the side of the Lido deck that needs to be escorted back to their room, or even if you're just having an emergency, or want to know where an event is being held, you will have access to that onboard Wi-Fi to ensure that you are able to at all times be in contact with Colossalcon Cruise. So that is one of the main reasons why we include the Wi-Fi in your package. There are tons of cruisers, whether they're Anime Con cruisers or not, that will tell you get the Wi-Fi package aboard. And that way too, you can stay in touch with family and friends. You can post on your social medias. I know a lot of people have seen the girls that are doing the TikToks. And I mean, they love it. They have such a great time. And by having that Wi Fi, they are able to stay connected to their fans and post all of their super fun adventures right from the cruise ship, which is really cool for them. All right. So on that note, what type of events do we run? So we do D&D nights, we do tabletop gaming. We've got our most popular event, which is the official Ninja Pub Crawl. Never to be duplicated, never to be replicated. It is the event of the cruise, really the social season, if you want. That is where you are going to receive your super awesome Ninja Bar Crawl headband when you complete your bar crawl. It is super fun. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Relenta, that doesn't look like the headband that everybody's fighting over on social media. And you're right. That's this one. This is the Cocktail Ninja headband. This is kind of a little bit more special,
It's a
if you
special
will.
club.
Special club. This one's a special club. In the club, we are all fam. But this one, it takes a little bit more to earn this one. So definitely, if you're not a fan of the Cocktail Ninja website, Instagram, and social media, go follow them there, and they will tell you how to win one of those headbands. We're also, that it's the biggest event of the night. Everybody loves going. Again, we have bachelorette parties and bachelor parties that will join on to the pub crawl because they just see how much fun we are having and cannot wait to join. So it is our biggest event. Again, we have the bar crawl itself, and then we also have the sober pirate bar crawl, for those of you who are not drinking, or maybe just not drinking as much, but it's a great time. And then we have our Kigu send off party. Or actually, we might be changing that up from a send off party to a different party, but we have a Kigu party. So bring your Kigus. It's a ton of fun. Again, everybody on the boat loves seeing it. They're like, what is this pajama party? It's hilarious. We do karaoke. We do fan meetups. There's going to be anime watch parties. We have fitness and wellness panels. We do mixers. You can meet and greet with your other seaweeds. We have a door decorating contest. There's con horror stories. There is so much fun stuff that we do on this boat. And then, of course, not to discount at all, but our super amazing, one of a kind beach episode cosplay contest, which is not your normal cosplay contest. So, our beach episode cosplay contest is a beach pool swim themed cosplay contest. So the idea is you take whatever costume character that you love the most and you make the swim version of that, and that is what you bring to the beach. That is what you get to wear all day while you're swimming out to the bar and have a fantastic time. We will actually be bringing back this year the standard cosplay contest that will be held on the boat, I believe, on our day at sea.
Yes.
And so feel free to bring your costumes to that. Of course, we're a crew. On a boat, y'all. We're on a boat. And so the beach episode cosplay contest kind of came about through that love of being on a boat, being on the beach. And we said, so many people come on this cruise and are worried about big props and big costumes and, oh my gosh, what if it gets sand in it? What if it gets wet? And we said, well, that's the point. Make the costume designed for the beach. Um, and so, much like many people at normal colossal cons make poolside versions of their cosplays, we have the beach version of your cosplay. So it's a super fun event. We love hosting it every year. It'll be on Coco Cay this year, um, per usual. So it'll be on Coco Cay. We have a little designated area that we rent out to host the event. We'll have prizes, we'll have judges, and we really do. We have a really great time. And again, everybody comes from the boat to watch because they're like, what is this crazy event going on? And it's so much fun. So
And
definitely looking forward to
something to
that.
add on to that, when you guys are judging, they are actually, we do have prizes for that, such as things like season passes to all the colossal cons. So we actually do have big prizes for this event, and we do judge based off of craftsmanship, stuff like that. While we don't go into the craftsmanship categories yet, maybe this year, but we do have a lot of our staff that are journeyman and master cosplay
Hmm.
categories, if I remember
Correct.
right. So,
Hmm.
and then we are actually even exploring having even more. Uh, I don't want to say highly trained, but not your basic. You're not being judged by me. I wouldn't know what to do even if you explained it to me and then had me try to look for it later. These are people who know their craft, and they we do live stream this event. So you will actually be also exposed on all of our social media when you do these events.
Absolutely. And then the uh, we have a couple of events again that are kind of in pocket at the moment. Fun little sneak peek. There is rumor of a last wig standing contest. So we'll see if we can make that come to fruition. It may involve wigs and a water slide. We haven't decided yet.
And one thing about the events that we host is that we listen to you guys as the community, because at the end of the day, we aren't paid to be here. We are actually a nonprofit. The people who run Colossalcon Cruise specifically, we are a nonprofit, so we don't look to try to make an event that everybody's going to. Oh my God, my mom hopped on here. I'm so sorry. She yelled at me for calling her old. Um, but we don't look to oh, what's going to draw in the most people so we can make the most money. We make the events so that you can be silly with us. We had a We a Boomer nap meetup because we were all tired, and we knew we were going to be tired after being in the sun all day. We're like, hey, let's just go to the hammocks, dress up in the worst button ups that we can ever imagine, like the bowling button ups, and then let's just take a nap on the hammocks and call it a day and just talk about life. We
And that is what they did.
Right. And we listen to you guys, and every silly little idea that you guys make or say, we try to make it happen into something that's fun and more than just a pipe dream.
100%. All right. So we're going to take a brief pause from our slideshow and pop on over to that website so you guys know how to book. And while she is navigating over to the website, I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of the pricing. But so currently we have about 30% of our initial price block grouped, booked. There we
Sold.
go. That's the word I'm looking for. Um, and we can continue to add. So again, unlike it was funny when we went live with the booking, everybody thought it was about to be the Hunger Games. If you did not see my hilarious little post, it was how everybody thought it was going to be, but how it actually is. And it's Oprah, and she's going, "You get a room, you get a room, everybody gets a room," and it's 100% true. We can just keep adding rooms at this point. So until the boat actually physically books up, they can continue to give us rooms that are available. So while we do encourage you to book early, because the further or closer we get to cruise date, the higher the probability of pricing going up does become. You are able to, like, there is no really cap on the number of rooms that we can book. So the
Until they're
more people that
gone.
want to come, of course, the better. But the sooner you can book, the better, which is always great. So Ashley's got our website pulled up for us. As you can see, we've got the different types of rooms with a couple different photos available on there of what those rooms look like. Our most popular rooms are going to be the interior rooms or the balcony rooms. Believe it or not, there's not, while we have rooms in between, like Promenade View and Ocean View, we have found that most of our cruisers either go big or go small. So the interior rooms are great, especially if you are going to be exploring and out on the deck and you're going to go on all the excursions. It's literally just a place where you can go put your head at the end of the night, which is awesome. And then you have the balcony rooms again, which are super popular. Our balcony rooms, of course, are going to have a balcony out onto a view of the ocean. They are absolutely stunning. I personally go always do a balcony room. It is my ultimate favorite thing in the world to wake up in the morning. I drag my significant other downstairs to the food and I make him carry all the food back to the balcony, and then we sit on the balcony and enjoy breakfast. And it is quite possibly one of my most favorite things in the whole wide world. I don't think I can describe the feeling it gives me to be sitting on the balcony of this boat having a mimosa, because that is my life. And I don't get to do it very often, but damn it, when we do it, we're going to do it. Somebody in the comment section said, go big, going big. I'm here for it. Molly, go big. You will never regret that balcony room. It is amazing. But the interior rooms are just as lovely because there is a ton of places to go and do and sit poolside and sit out on one of the decks and enjoy all of those things no matter what. Um,
And one
so
benefit
do
of an
not
interior room actually is if you're one of those people who need pitch black to sleep, get
yes.
the interior. You will be in
Mhm.
utter darkness
You
in the
will
middle of
be
the
in
night.
utter darkness because the interior rooms, of course, do not have the do not have a window. Some of them now have a virtual window, which is pretty cool. But if you like sleeping in dead silence and dead dark, the interior rooms are actually phenomenal. Um, all right. Do, do, do. And then the other rooms we have available are, of course, the interior promenade view and then the interior ocean view. Fun fact, the interior ocean view is actually cheaper than the interior
Well,
promenade view, which I will never understand because I will always opt for a view of the ocean. I just assumed that would be more expensive. But if you haven't heard us over the last 5-ish months yelling at the top of our lungs that we have payment plans, I'm going to yell it at you one more time. So if financing is a concern, guys, I get it. The world is burning, both literally and figuratively at the moment. And because the world is burning, I need a vacation. But we have payment plans. So there are payment plans available. That is another reason why we go through our cruise coordinator, Don. We have both 0% options for financing, which means there is no interest. But then there are also options for financing with interest as well to get the monthly payments a little bit smaller. So, whatever your budget is, there are options for you. So, take advantage of those payment plans. As of right now, there's about 5 months left until final payment is due. So, if you book today, let's just pretend it's July. So, if you book today, a interior room, it is about $185 a month for the next 5 months. So there you go. And that's 0%, no interest. You're just going to be making 5 easy payment plans of 185.99.99. It's actually like 183 and 14 cents, but I like to round up because I like nice even numbers. But yeah, $185 for an interior room for the next 5 months. So again, there's no credit check with the interest free option. So if you want to go, but you need that payment plan, take advantage of it. It is there for you.
and
And
even for those who aren't doing the
it's
payment plan, because they use a mobile app, you can actually make payments at your discretion as well, so that you aren't hit
mhm,
with the whole entire bill. Me personally, that's what I do. Once you do your initial deposit, which it is $200 per person, $400 minimum per cabin, you can go in at any time, even if you don't set up a dedicated payment plan through them, which I would suggest doing because it's easier. You can go in and you can make those individual payments by yourself through the app at any time.
yeah. If you look at it on a 2-week payment plan, AKA every paycheck, an interior room is $92 a paycheck, which I think for most people probably is less than their cell phone bill. So $92 every paycheck, and you can get yourself an interior room on the Colossalcon Cruise. So pretty cool. All right. What do you need to go? So jumping back
Actually,
over.
G,
Yep, go
think
ahead.
we skipped a little area. Let me just double check because,
Yeah.
yep. So about the pricing.
Oh, so sorry. Boop, 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 Yes, my bad. Okay, so with pricing for your Colossal Con cruise, um, when you book on the website, each room on the website holds up to 2 people. However, third and fourth attendees alter pricing are available. It alters pricing slightly. Um, Raising it just a little bit, but not a ton. And you have to call Dawn directly. So we did get a lot of people that were jumping into the chat that had said, like, oh my gosh, it only says I can book for 2 people. I have 4 people that want to go. So it does not change the pricing. What that means is you cannot cram 600 people into your cruise cabin like you can at Colossal Con in the Kalahari Resort. um, this is 4 people max that can fit into this room, and everybody's paying the same price, is what that boils down to. So with that, unless you book like one of the
Well,
presidential
so
suites,
sort of
we don't have
how
that
they do
many.
usually typically do with like third and fourth attendees is that
Yes,
if you're, let's use not real numbers, but it's about the same ratio. Say the room is $800 per person for 2 people, so $1,600 for the room total. Um, if you add a third person, instead of it being $800 per person, it may be closer to 500. So it raises it because there are still port fees that have to be paid out. There's still food that they're consuming, but it is not nearly as much as the first 2 people. So it
correct.
does make it cheaper, but it doesn't make it an even split.
Yes. But you guys can hash that out kind of on the back end if that makes sense. So if you guys take the full total of your room and just want to divide by 4, like go for it. um, okay. And then final payment will be due in November. So again, that's where that 5 month kind of payment plan that we've got left is coming from. So final payment will be due in November, and then you're booked and ready. Okay, so what do you need to go? You need a passport and or a United States birth certificate. Notice I said United States birth certificate. So with uh I will use myself as an example. I was not born in this country. I am a US citizen. I was actually born in Germany. I was born in Germany on German soil. My father is military. And so, but through a weird series of events, instead of being born in an American hospital on an American base, I was actually born in a German hospital. So I have a birth certificate from Germany. I also have a birth certificate that's that says you're an American citizen, but you were born overseas. So I actually cannot use my birth certificate to get onto this boat. So if you were born in the United States, physically on US soil, so lower 48, Alaska, and Hawaii, you can use your birth certificate to get onto this boat. If you were not born physically on the United States soil, you will need a US passport or some kind of passport. We have had Canadian cruisers. They're great. They're a lot of fun. They can drink a lot. But so you need your passport to go on the cruise, or you need a
Pass
United
card.
States birth certificate. There we go. So with that, you'll also want to bring your driver's license because that's important.
Yeah, you do have to have a
um,
photo ID of some sort to
yes,
a government issued photo ID to accompany your birth certificate if you go the birth certificate route.
yes,
If you do the passport pass card route, you do not need a government issued ID to go with it.
correct. Because that is technically your passport card is almost like an official passport when you are in certain areas of U.S. territory. Okay. Da, 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 da. So I do us a favor, y'all, and put your hands on that like now. By the way, if you are signed up to go find your passport. Make sure it's not about to expire. Go find your birth certificate because yes, we have heard the horror stories and we have seen it happen. So we have seen the people that, oh God, I've got the wrong birth certificate, or it's the night before and they literally cannot find their passport. So please, please, please go do us a favor, go put your hands on your passport, make sure it is not about to expire in 6 months. And if it is, go ahead and renew it. And then if you don't know where your birth certificate is, go call your mom and dad because I'm sure they know where it is.
And make sure that it's not a photocopy of the birth certificate.
Yes,
It is a official copy
official
from
physical copy.
yes,
Correct. It
that has the
cannot. You
seal.
cannot do. You cannot do photocopies. Okay. All right. And again, all of this is posted on the website. So if you are unsure, you can check the website. If you still have more questions, just drop us a line, drop us a DM, slide into our DMs. We will be there to assist. All right. Travel beforehand, just real fast before we get to our Q&A. So we will have a day zero cruise hotel. Again, another reason to book through Dawn is because you will get early access to the con-sponsored hotel option that'll have a free shuttle to the cruise terminal. And again, our cruise coordinator, Don, sets all of that up for us. We do have to get a head count for that. And so when you book your hotel through him, along with your cruise, we are able to get that number and we are able to get enough shuttles to get us over there. And then, of course, you can just Uber over there if you live down in that area, also totally acceptable. Um, and then the hotel is about, I believe it's about an hour from MCO, the Orlando
Yep.
airport. So there are shuttles as well that can take you from MCO down to usually like the port area. Um, so if you want to fly in a day early, you can hop on one of these shuttles. I've done shuttles in the past. We have officially now gone the Uber route. In some cases, it's about the same price point, if not cheaper. And you're not sitting around waiting for somebody to get off a plane that may or may not be delayed, which is what happened to us at one point a few years back, where we got off or we got their boat docked late. So we were sitting around waiting for probably 45 minutes for a couple that was supposed to be on this shuttle. And they were like, we can't leave without them. We can't leave without them. And finally, we had to leave without them because most of us were about to miss our flight. So after that, I said no more shuttles. But I've had tons of people that have booked the shuttles. They have no problems with them. But my anxiety could not handle that.
And we have
But
more
yeah,
information about transportation on our website.
we
So
do.
if you go to colossalconcruise.com, we try to put every single thing that we can think of in writing so that it'll hopefully help out the next person. So if you go to the
Absolutely.
attendant booking, we have breakdowns on what different journeys cost versus like inside Uber versus uh, shuttles and stuff like that to help you with those price comparisons.
100%. So go with what option works best for you and your own personal nuances. um, all right. So that about wraps up our slideshow. We will bump over probably. Uh, oh, just kidding. We're still on the website. Love it. No worries.
Nope,
Take your
nope,
time.
you're good. We're over.
um, but that about wraps up our slideshow. So we again please, 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 please book through colossalconcruise.com and our cruise coordinator, Don. He is fantastic. He is here to make things happen. He is also going to get you first dibs on super fun excursions. He has special deals. If you want to go swimming with stingrays, the man's going to make it happen. You know, if you want to go do some kind of fun event when you get off the boat, he is definitely the guy to chat with. The picture on screen, as you see it, is the entire cast of the Colossalcon Cruise. So I again reiterate one more time, we are in fact a non-for-profit group. We are a bunch of volunteers with quite literally a crazy dream to have this super fun cruise for all of y'all to come and join and have a wonderful time. And if you, I'm hoping to post in the next coming weeks some of those reviews that we were given by our fellow cruisers. And all of them really did say the same thing, which was, this is the best con I've ever been to. It was so inclusive. We had such a great time. Like, even with all the little nuancy things that changed and maybe happened along the way, they just said it was such a great event. And so we really thank you guys again for putting your trust in us to put this event on. We absolutely love doing it. Our goal is to make sure that you guys have such a great time. Um, and so give us your feedback. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see. And just remember that we are doing this because we absolutely love it. We're paying for this cruise just like you guys are. And we want to make sure that you guys have an equally amazing time. So what questions can we answer for you?
So we do have a question. So one of the
All
questions
right.
that came through, it was from Jay Reagan, was if there's connecting rooms or ones that can hold more than two guests. We did cover that you can add a third and fourth person to your room. Uh,
Correct.
Most of the room, I believe all the rooms that we have listed are able to have additional people in there, whether it be via pull-out couch, or some of them even have bunk beds that come down from the ceiling or the
They're
walls.
pretty epic.
They're pretty epic, honestly. And they're surprisingly roomy
Yeah.
considering. But also they do offer Royal Caribbean does offer options for connecting rooms. However, both those options you are going to have to contact our cruise director Don directly. So if you head over
Correct.
to our colossalconcruise.com, which I'm going to go ahead and flip over there for just a second, and head over to our cruise booking page, you're going to click on book now, and then the information, excuse all the pop-ups, the information to contact Don is actually right on about this group,
There
I
we go.
believe. Let me
And
just
we
double.
usually tell y'all give him about 48 hours to get back to you. We sadly are not Don's only cruise.
Right here.
Rude. But so we always ask give him about 48 hours to get back to you, just because he runs his business. And so sometimes he might be out of the country or on a boat when you call and leave that message, or you may have a time zone difference. So please, please, please leave your time zone when you leave him that message, so that he does not accidentally call you at 3 in the morning.
Yep,
Although
and your
let's face it,
preferred
most of us are
contact
anyway.
time. So if you want that 3 a.m. call, absolutely
Go
let
for
him
it.
know. He'll probably call you back at 3 a.m.
He
Um,
absolutely will.
Uh, once you leave him a message, he will call you back. I've never typically had him run over more than 2 business days of getting a call back from him, unless he was out at Count Dracula's castle, which is a place he recently has gone to. um,
And we're working on getting us there too.
we're working on getting us there. There is a river boat, so more boats.
More boats.
You know how Americans
All
like
right.
them boats. So we do have a second question. Um,
All right.
we are I know you're not handling shuttle services for the airport, but if you're staying at the Hampton via the block the cruise is set up, is the cruise sending up shuttle services from there to the port, or do we still need to set something up? So from the hotel to the port, we have that included in your booking.
Yes.
You would be responsible from setting up something from the airport to the hotel, and the cruise port back to the airport or back to the hotel.
Correct.
Which on our page under transportation, we do have all that listed out, all those different options. Me personally, I did the shuttle option last time, and that did a whole entire round trip of including airport to hotel, hotel to port, which I didn't need, and port back to airport for like I want to say like $80, and that wasn't bad. But it was just us two people. Otherwise, honestly, I would have done an Uber. It would have worked out cheaper to be an Uber if I had four people, but I only had two.
There you go.
So the only thing that the con block handles is hotel to port one way.
Correct. Yeah. And there are tons of options, like she said. So just head on over to the website and take a quick peek. But if you're rooming with 4 people, honestly, booking the Uber, it's pretty cheap. Um, and it's a little bit more expensive if you're going from port back to uh,
Airport.
back to the airport, which a lot of people do, especially because everybody's getting off the boat at the same time. And so the Uber rates kind of increase a little bit. So if you have nowhere else to be, hanging out at the port for a little bit longer is never a bad idea until those pricing rates come down. But if you've got places to be, the shuttle's definitely a really easy way to go.
And actually, we have added a new option this year with our ClassCon cruise. So part of our community is that we have a Discord server, and
Mhm.
we have recently added a channel specifically to get people in touch with each other for things such as the pre-boardroom, transportation options. It's a ride share, like different sharing options to try to help you get down some of those costs as well that people individually organize, but just giving you the space to do that.
Absolutely. All right. Who else has questions? Come on.
I think
You
we're
guys were
caught
all
up.
up in the Discord not too long ago going, we have
Well, I see no questions for the Discord right now. So why don't we go ahead and we will. Well, we're actually at 8:30. So
questions. All right,
let's
look
just
at
do
us
a quick
going
little
in the 20s.
Flickr slideshow.
Yeah,
So just explain what's going on in those pictures.
absolutely. So as soon as my screen loads and I know what when we're on,
We're on the group chat of us.
fabulous. All right, so the group shot of us, and then we've got. So again, that is your entire volunteer staff, and we are here because we love it. Um, and then this is my favorite picture. I make us recreate it every year. I'm like the mom at the family reunion that's like, everybody get over by the boat so we can take the big boat picture. And it's probably one of our most iconic photos. Everybody sees it and they're like, holy crap, what is this?
And this is
So
not green
everybody
screen.
loves,
This is us actually in front of the boat and the actual views that you get when you are on the island for photos.
yes. The views are impeccable. The scenery is to die for, y'all. If you are Instagrammers, if you are TikTokers, like you cannot ask for a better backdrop. Again, gazebo who? Let's go to the swim up bar. Let's go to our swim up floating bar.
And speaking of
And then we've
TikTokers, for
got
those who want to grow their cosplay fan base, we
yes,
actually had a set of TikTokers that got on boat with us last time, and I kid you not, for 3 months, they've had content from one
continuous.
weekend,
Yeah,
continuous content.
it's
It,
pretty incredible. They must have been filming from dusk till dawn. The
I think they had
dedication
7
was
outfit
100%
changes.
there. It was very impressive.
They've had like 7 outfit changes, but hey, that
Amazing.
is the type of scenery that you are not going to get from your stereotypical convention.
100%. So then we've got some shots of course, the cosplay contest, our beach episode cosplay contest that everybody loves showing up to. Can't have a beach episode without the Wario. Dun, dun, dun. And then our next one is from the bar crawl. Love this picture. I think was that Moses? Yep, that was Moses. Moses joined us for the bar crawl. And was a winner of one of those cocktail ninja headbands, 10 out of 10. And then again, a couple more shots from the bar crawl. You'll have a punch card when you are on the bar crawl, and you get to compete to be the bar kage,
Well, in our
which almost
Barkage games.
yes. And so this year we will be hosting the bar kage games. So after about 3 or 4 people uh, surpassed the 24 drink mark, we decided, in the interest of safety, to just crown multiple bar kages instead of one. And then they formed the Bar Kage Alliance, lore to come. And so this year, anyone that participates in the bar crawl, after you surpass a certain number of drinks, you no longer have to drink, and you will get the opportunity to challenge one of the existing bar kages to a bar kage battle where you will challenge them for a game of the bar kage's choice for their title. So super exciting and fun. We have no idea how this is going to go down, but we cannot wait. It's going to be epic. So get your nimble fingers ready. There's rumors of coin tosses, dice games. There are rumors of
Uno.
say what?
Somebody said Uno.
Somebody said Uno. Yep.
Somebody said a
So
sobriety test.
it's gonna be. Somebody did say a sobriety test. That one's gonna be a riot. But yes, so get your weird little niche thing that you can do ready because it might come in handy if you need to challenge a bar kage for their position. And then our next video is some of our bartenders on the cruise having a great time with us. And again, I mentioned before that we pick up people along the way during our convention. And people are just really, they think what we do is so much fun and so cool. And so we were on our bar crawl one night, and all of the bartenders knew exactly what Naruto was. And so they decided to get together and decided to be a little ridiculous. And we nominated them, or not nominated, anointed them with our bar crawl headband for all of the fun and all of the drinks that they made us. If you want to hit play on that bad boy,
I'm gonna do a little bit of a audio warning. It's gonna get loud, so you might
it's
want
gonna
to.
be loud.
I'm gonna give you like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. You guys are awesome! Now, one of the things that everybody always asks us when we're on these boats is like, oh my gosh, we're with a whole bunch of normal people. Like, how do they respond to you? This is how they
This is
respond
how
to
they
us.
respond.
Every now and then you always get a grumpy goose, but to be honest with you, it's so rare. We get more, what are you guys doing? And then when we explain, they go, oh, that sounds like fun. Or
Yep.
we get the full jump of, we're all ninjas now.
Yep.
And we've even had like people on there on like said bachelor parties. We've had bachelorette parties. We've had people who are just there on family vacations, and they swing by one of our events that is like a private event. They're like, what's going on in there? And then when we explain, they're like, crap, if I would have known.
If only we had known. We did. We picked up a new cruiser for this year. That way, he was on He was on a family reunion cruise, and he was like, "Holy crap!" And a couple of our events are in public areas, and so I think he joined us for one of the hot tub nights. But he thought it was the coolest thing in the world. He's like, "Oh man, if only I had known." But there you go. Now we have a new cruiser who will be joining us for the 2026 cruise. So super exciting, super fun. And it's how we kind of get the word out to new cruisers and more people. So super exciting. But that's y'all's job as well. Like it is so much of Colossalcon Cruise is word of mouth. When we did some of our surveys after the cruises have concluded, so many people said, "Oh my gosh, my best friend told me about it. Oh my gosh, I heard about it at Colossalcon. I heard about it on the Facebook page." And so many people that have said, like, "I never thought I'd go on a cruise. I never thought this would be something that I would do." But so many people told me how much fun it was, and I decided to go. And they did. They had just the best time, and they told us about it, which was fantastic. So our next photo is the fabulous Mermaids and Mimosas. We had the lovely Bonnie Voyage cosplayer.
So just as a quick thing on mermaids and mimosas, one of the things that we did this year was we brought a whole bunch of mermaid garb. I'm talking, we brought tails, we brought accessories, we brought tiaras, and not only did we have a professional photographer there to take photos of everybody, and then which we then were able to present to them later, we were giving away things. We gave away a whole tail, if I remember right, as well as all different types of prizes. So even a lot of our meetups were still giving away stuff. And we've just got the most beautiful, beautiful mermaids. We do not discriminate.
Yes, we have all the mermaids. I am here for it.
And then going on to our next video.
Yep.
So one of the things that we had mentioned was even when one of the best parts about us actually not chartering a whole boat is that even when there's no con events going on, or even when the con events seem like, oh, that's not something I might be interested in doing, there is still tons of boat events happening. Because like while we have our parties going on, the boat is still trying to entertain the rest of the people. So they have everything from like their own contests, trivias, karaoke's, and stuff like that. Granted, their karaoke doesn't have anime music, so like we're definitely winning in that department. But there's always something to do. Not to the point though where it feels overwhelming.
Yes.
But we actually have a video of one of our anime weeps inside the belly flop contest that was then broadcast to every single stateroom.
Yes.
Because they like to broadcast their events to their nifty TVs in every single stateroom. So giving another audio warning probably. 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, this one's not as bad. As you can see, this is our Wario. But that is the type of events that they are also doing as well. So even if you're just like, hey, I'm not vibing with going to Mermaids and Mimosas, there's still something for you to do. And that's not including all the other stuff we have listed of things that you can do on ships, such as like the spas, the ice skating. There's shows going on. They bring in musicians. They have game shows. They have all kinds of stuff too. Because at the end of the day,
There's bingo.
there's bingo. They have a casino on board.
Mhm.
So the big thing
There
is
is
that
something for everyone. It is quite literally a floating city. You cannot go wrong. Everyone will have a good time. So no matter who you connive to bring with you and stick in your stateroom, you're going to enjoy it.
and when we say the promenade, because we actually never explain what the promenade is a whole entire boardwalk in the center of the boat with shops, multiple taverns, shop or not shops, different areas for you to sit there and mingle with everybody. And that's all inside the boat. So even if the weather's cruddy outside, you still have a whole entire city inside the boat. Um,
It is
and
a grand old time.
and at the end of the day, one of the things that we try to reiterate is that while we're an anime convention, this is also a cruise. And if you've never been on a cruise before, it is one of the anecdotally, it is one of the most stress-free vacations once you get on that ship. Because everything, it's either planned or it isn't, and it is taken care of as long as you go where you're supposed to go when you're supposed to go. Because the
Hmm?
boat waits for no man.
The boat waits for no one. Pier runners are real.
So going on to our next slide, this is this is part of our lore, which when we keep referencing the lore that we because we love to interact with our community so much, our community has taken upon themselves to make all kinds of memes and all kinds of silliness. And because we love it so much, we actually are going to be featuring it on our website so that people can understand all the little inside jokes, because that is the one thing that we always want everybody to feel included. So guess what? We're going to give you a study guide on all the silliness.
So you know what's going on.
And this is as we refer to as the soup, the cream of weeb soup, aka weeb soup. And it is just honestly, how many people can we fit in a hot tub without it being overcrowded and still have fun? This particular one was a meetup to where everybody dressed up as different ramen ingredients to season the soup. And then we had like a little contest where we gave away some stuff, as well as they played the king game, as well as other things, just to have fun, because that's what it's for at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And then the rest of our slides are just some of the other fun things that we have done on said boat. We've got the karaoke night. We've got some pictures from our trip to Bimini. So we have everybody in golf carts. That was hilarious. We've got the shipwreck. That was part of one of the smaller parts of the free excursion. If people wanted to walk out or go out there, we pointed everybody in the right direction. The Bar Kage meetup, and just some of the great photos that we have from the cruise ship as the days were going by. Some of the meetups from the Kigu party. Oh, somebody got a picture. We had a mystery prize that wound up being a giant ham plushie that was won. Everybody loved that. We've got Paul over here crowning somebody with their cocktail ninja headband. We've got some pictures from the door decorating contest, everybody's fun animals in their staterooms. Again, more pictures with bartenders. So overall, a fantastic time. So thank you guys all so much for joining us this evening. Uh, we hope that we have answered quite a few questions for those of you that are still here, and that you can take those answers back to your friends. And hopefully, if you have not booked already, go ahead and book. We've got our QR codes right there. We'll leave those up for just a few more seconds so that you guys can snap them real fast. If you are not on the Discord, please join the Discord. Or at least the Facebook group, and that's where you're going to get all of the most recent information, which is fantastic. And again, if you have any further questions, please feel free to just drop them into our messaging. You can also email us at colossalconcruise at gmail.com. and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. But again, do please remember that we are 100% volunteer run, and most of us do have 9 to 5s, unless you're me, and then it's like 10 to 9:30. I don't know. I work retail. I work weird hours. So just give us, much like Dawn, give us 48 hours to get back to you, and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, and we hope that this has helped answer a lot of your questions. And we will do another live sometime probably next month, and we will most likely have a theme for it. No idea what we'll focus on next month, but as we get closer to our cruise date, we're going to do some fun lives to help you guys with packing, help you guys make sure that you've got all the things that you need for your cruise. Best things to include, random fun facts like, hey, the ceiling is magnetized, so bring magnetic hooks to help you guys hang stuff. So little fun things like that we will share as we get closer to our cruise date, and you guys are starting to pack. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, my name is Relenta. Ashley is the voice in the void that you've been hearing this evening, and our tech savvy uh, girly pop who figured out how to stream on multiple platforms all at once. My husband and I are boomers and would never have been able to figure that out. So kudos to you, Ashley.
Thank you. All right. Well, we will catch everybody next month.